Aren't we making up for last night and going to look for vampires?
No, Shiki, don't be silly.
But just the two of us walking around, that's...
Suspiciously like a date? Yes, you are exactly correct. This is the midpoint of the novel, which means, all of Fate's Day night, we're all going on a date now.
Hi, I'm Arcueid, back with Tsukihime. Last time, Shiki got out of a tough situation fighting off a strange man who attacked him on his way home, and his savior was someone in robes, likely from the church, and she resembled Shiel-senpai, who at school is playing coy, of course. The following night, Shiki's sleep is troubled by dreams of his past, a crying Akiha, a dead boy, and red coating his hands, only to wake and wander the mansion finding two different spellings of his name, Shiki and Shiki. But anyway, finding the glade from the prologue, where once there was so much blood, Shiki passes out and comes to only after he's already missed his promised nighttime rendezvous with Arcueid. But apparently Shiki couldn't even move, and Akiha was insisting he rest, so fine. But only because the walkthrough said I had to. Fortunately, Arcueid has decided to pay us a visit instead the following morning. She doesn't look happy, though, and, she may have said something about ripping Shiki's throat out. Let's hope she doesn't mean it.
You know, I really was angry before. I waited for many hours, and as soon as I realized you weren't coming, I got so incredibly angry. I was thinking I would never let this happen again, and I'd rip your throat out.
She speaks, still looking ill-tempered.
Do you get it, Shiki? That feeling, I couldn't resist it. Even though I know I should calm down, the more I thought about it, the angrier I got.
As if she still felt that way, her red eyes seemed to blame me. Yeah, I guess you can't help yourself. Giving thanks to God my neck is still attached, I keep the conversation going.
Isn't it? And I snuck in here, but since you were sleeping, I decided to wait. At least I wanted to hear your excuse. And since I didn't have anything to do, I watched your sleeping face. There's a Twilight joke in here, I just know it. I mean, vampiric's human, you just can't escape certain tropes, I guess. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, your sleeping face was very quiet. It was almost scary. Sleeping like you were dead. I started feeling uneasy, because I thought that maybe you would never wake up.
I sigh. If you were uneasy, then you should have woke me. I'm uneasy when you're next to me.
But I thought it would be a waste. I don't know what I look like when I sleep, but I thought it would be real good if I slept like you did. I wondered why you looked so peaceful while I watched you sleep. While I was doing that, my anger disappeared, and then you woke up.
Then you've been here this whole time? From last night until now?
Yeah. People from this house came in a few times, but I hid myself, so it was okay. A girl also came to wake you up, but I didn't like her, so I sent her away.
Arcueid laughs brightly. Wait, you sent her away? How?
I wasn't rough. Didn't I tell you before that vampires have mystic eyes of enchantment? I merely used suggestion on her, saying that Shiki has already gone to school and didn't leave any memory of her meeting me.
No memory? You really are a troublesome person. Well, even if she is troublesome, at least she took care not to be detected. I bring my hands to my head as I sigh. Alright. Sorry for yesterday, Arcueid. I don't know if this is making up for it, but I won't break any more promises. Yeah, I promise.
You keep saying that, Shiki, but you keep not making them. I feel like you're just digging yourself in a deeper hole, honestly. Because you couldn't control what happened yesterday. You just collapsed because you had horrible anime-style memories out of nowhere. So that could happen again at any time, apparently, which means you'll break more promises. She's just got to understand that she's dating a very fragile flower.
I look her right in the eye as I declare this.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Because I now realize your revenge is scary. Still lying down, I raise my hands in surrender. All of a sudden, her bad mood disappears completely. Arcueid gives a satisfied nod and says,
Alright.
Arcueid finally gets away from the bed. Jeez, sneaking onto someone's bed like that? Didn't you think about how hard the sheets would be to clean if you left a mess from your shoes? Complaining, I get up from bed. Arcueid stands in the center of the room, watching me as I slowly rouse myself from bed. Hey, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm just waiting for you to change. You're not going to go out in those clothes, right?
Well, yeah. No one walks around in pajamas. Wait, Arcueid?
Yeah, I was thinking we'd spend the day together, Shiki. You said you'd make it up for breaking your promise, didn't you?
Arcueid says this casually, as if it was the most natural thing in the world. Today, all day, what are you saying? I have school.
Hey, you even said you were sure. Are you choosing school over me, Shiki? Never, Arcueid. You are our one true vampire princess waifu. Obviously, you're more important than school. We confirmed this last chapter.
She's got me there. It can't be helped I should go to school. It can't be helped I'll go with Arcueid. Obviously, we're going with Arcueid! I glance at the clock. It's already past 9. I'd be late even if I went to school now. And to be honest, going with Arcueid is more fun than going to school. Alright, I'll spend the day with you. But if we go into the city during the day, I don't think there'll be any dead around.
I don't care about that. I just wanted to walk around. So even if it is daytime, it doesn't matter.
Huh? What, aren't we making up for last night and going to look for vampires?
No, Shiki, don't be silly. It's a date. This is the midpoint of the novel, which means all of Fate's Day night, we're all going on a date now. Yes, of course we'll look tonight. But to have you help me all day and night would be hard. So during the day, I thought we could relax.
I think that'd be more fun too, but just the two of us walking around, that's...
Suspiciously like a date? Yes, you are exactly correct. Just roll with it, Shiki.
Like what they call a date in the real world. Maybe you can't say that with a vampire like Arcueid, but I suppose she's telling me to take her out for some fun. For me, I need to get ready mentally, and...
Huh? What's wrong, Shiki? Your face, it's turning red.
I cover my face with my hands and look away. Certainly, it's been just the two of us many times before, but those were emergency situations, and it was more like a pact of cooperation than anything between a man and a woman. That's why, no matter how pretty I thought she was, I tried not to notice it. But if, without any danger, without any purpose, if the two of us just walk around, I might notice something I've never noticed before, and it makes me hesitate.
Shiki? Hey, are you going to school after all?
No way. I said I'd do it, so I will. I don't know what you're thinking, but walking around shouldn't be a problem.
Then it's decided. Then let's go.
She walks toward the window she snuck in earlier. Wait a minute. I'm going to change, so can you just look outside for a while?
What, did you call me?
Oh, yes. No! Just go outside. I'll be there soon.
Okay, I'll wait outside. I've waited this long, so don't make me wait any longer, Shiki.
She jumps out the window with the lightness of a cat. I hear the rustling of the trees outside. She didn't jump to the ground, but along the tree branches. With a body like that, it should have been easy getting in here undetected. This isn't the time to be impressed. I have to sneak out without Hisui noticing. I change into some normal clothes. Cracking open the door slightly, I look around to make sure no one's in the hallway, and tiptoe outside. Luckily, no one saw me as I made my way out. Arcueid is looking the other way as she mumbles to herself. Thanks for waiting. Come on, let's go, Arcueid. If we stick around here, Kohaku-san will find us.
Eh? Yeah, we should go.
Completely different from before. her words seem very empty. What is it? This isn't like you at all. Did something happen again just now?
No, I think she's just feeling a little bit shy, realizing what she pushed for. No, nothing really.
I said the again part strong, but her words are still hollow. It seems like she's planning something. I feel kind of scared. Are you feeling sick because it's daytime? There's no need to force yourself to go out. If it's hard for you, we can stop.
I feel fine right now. But seeing this wall reminded me of last night.
Huh? About last night? You mean while you waited for me at the park?
Yes.
Arcueid nods meekly.
I dashed here with all my strength and snuck into your room, but it seems strange when I think about it now. Why was I so angry back then? It was just a little promise.
Saying she doesn't get it, Arcueid crosses her arms in thought.
Ah, that's right. Maybe you get it, Shiki. It's 'cause you got feelings, but whatever. They'll figure it out eventually, crazy kids. You always tell me I'm so stupid, so maybe you can understand.
Hey,
Is there an option to say that they're in love?
if she doesn't understand herself, then how does she expect me to? There's no way I understand. But if I have to respond... Well, it's because you're selfish, right? Well, it's because you hate me, right? Well, it's because you're a vampire, right?
Okay, before I consult the guide, I'm going to guess it's not selfishness. That doesn't make any sense at all. Like, that's definitely the odd one out. Hate is the opposite of love. So, I don't know if that's worth anything. Maybe bringing up the vampire thing again? So it would be between these two. I wonder if, like, reverse psychology would work, in which case you could say, well, maybe it's because you hate me. And it's like, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it at all. In which case, maybe you'll just realize, oh, it's the opposite. I'm gonna check the guide, though. And I got it right. Cool. It's because you hate me, right?
Let's see. Isn't it because you hate me? I haven't been able to meet you on time, and I've done a lot of horrible things to you. Leaving my feelings about Arcueid aside, I calmly analyze the situation.
Is that so? This is the first time I've ever felt emotion towards someone, so I don't really understand it myself.
After being quiet for a few moments, she raises her head.
Shiki, do you hate me?
And asks me such a question. Me? Arcueid stares at me silently. I don't hate you. That's why I'm helping you. For now, that's the honest truth.
I see. Then maybe I feel the same way too.
Arcueid gives an ambiguous nod. I'm not sure if she understands. Does that clear it up? Then let's go. Arcueid, do you have anywhere in mind?
I don't know, so I'll let you decide. Just take me wherever?
So she told me we're going somewhere, and now it's this. Oh well, I'm not sure what kind of place she likes, but I'll take her to a good hangout place. Well then. Go for the usual place, take her to the movie theater, probably like somewhere like a back alley? Heck no. I don't really know, so let's go to the park for now.
The park is a place that they regularly go. The back alley is the obvious wrong answer. I'm leaning towards movie theater. Guide says yes.
For the time being, the movie theater is always a safe bet. As long as the movie you choose is good, it can't be boring.
This place is always pretty lively, although I don't know what's here.
Arcueid walks right next to me. On the way, actually even now, everyone around us keeps casting glances our way. It doesn't need to be said, but it's probably because Arcueid really stands out. I'm aware of it a little, but everyone else's reactions make me even more conscious of it, and it's a bit troubling. Arcueid acts just like she normally does, but since I can't help but be overwhelmed by her femininity, I can't seem to make any meaningful conversation.
Hey, do you hear me, Shiki? I'm asking you where we're going.
Well, Most couples here usually go to the movie theater. I point to the movie theater in front of us.
Movie theater. So watching a movie then.
The princess does not seem to be pleased. But after coming this far, I don't have a choice. It's not like I have any clue what would please a vampire girl in the first place. Because I've gone this far, I just have to prepare myself for her to say,
Boring.
just go in. If you're dissatisfied, we can always split up here.
I'm not really dissatisfied.
Giving a sigh, Arcueid follows me. She slumps her shoulders as if to say,
You good-for-nothing guy.
I'm going to go buy tickets, but what do you want to see? Let's see, there's a romance, and a romance, and a romance. This theater kind of stinks. To be honest, I want to go back too.
Any one of them is fine. They really all look the same.
Yeah, then let's just buy one. I get in the shortest line and buy 2 tickets. Here you go. Just show this ticket when we go in. They'll take half of the ticket, but that's how it's supposed to be, so don't get angry.
I know that much. You really think I don't know anything, Shiki?
No, that's not it. I just thought maybe you didn't know much about human society.
I have some knowledge of it stored away. I know at least about a movie theater.
Giving a small,
Humph.
she turns her face away and walks towards the theater. It was a mistake. I knew taking a vampire to a movie theater would be too dull. We exit the theater. We watched a romance. It wasn't exactly boring, but not terribly interesting either. It was a typical French movie. It focused less on breathtaking scenes and concentrated more on creating a calm atmosphere. As we leave the theater, Arcueid walks with me wordlessly. An uncomfortable silence. Maybe she would have been happier if it was an action flick or a horror movie. Hey, Arcueid.
Yeah, it was really fun, Shiki.
What? Fun? Arcueid?
Man, hearing about it and seeing it were 2 entirely different things. Even though I knew some background information about what a movie theater was, my imagination fell short of reality. Is that what you call the color theory experiment? You know everything about color? Is experience different from just knowing about a thing?
Arcueid gives a happy, heartfelt smile.
The darkness was really nice, and even though the sounds were loud, they weren't noisy, and having you next to me was also fun. But more than that, the subject matter was really good. I was surprised they would go so far to make up a story. It's so detailed. My imagination was nothing like that. I was really moved.
Ah, is that so?
Huh? You look like you don't agree. Was it boring?
No, not really boring, just ordinary. There's way more interesting things than that.
No way. That was really good, you know?
Well, I guess movie experts like that kind of movie, but there's a ton of better ones. They're not out right now, but there are epics out there many times better than that. To be blunt, what we saw was pretty low quality.
I'm surprised.
It's so easy to read your expressions, Arcueid. Not just surprised, but amazed. That Arcueid, she looked so not into it, so I thought she was gonna complain, but now she's like an excited kid. Too bad. If it was earlier, we could have seen a better movie. If I knew you would have liked it, I would have taken you. It's not so she thanks me, but I genuinely do want to make her happy.
Oh, I see. I guess we don't have much luck. Don't look so sad, Arcueid. It just means that there's more movies we can see together. Obviously, this just is an excuse to go and do it again. With or without a vampire hunt going on.
Arcueid slumps her shoulders in disappointment. Yeah, we just keep missing the opportunities. I slump my shoulders in disappointment too. Yeah, really. It really would have been nice to see her happy, smiling face a little longer. It's now past 2, so to ease my hunger, I take us to a fast food restaurant. I don't even know if she eats this kind of food, but after Arcueid stares long and hard at the menu, she ends up ordering the same thing I did. I sit down across from her. After Arcueid looks around quickly, she pops a french fry in her mouth like she's done it before many times. Wow, you seem pretty used to it. I thought maybe it was your first time.
Yeah, this is the first time I've done it. I've known about places like these, but it was only from information sources. That's the color experiment thing, huh?
Just information. I see. You watch the news, so I guess you read magazines too?
Not quite like that. I need knowledge to fit in with the times, right? So when I wake up, I study the information of that time and then go into action. Well, it's usually over in a few days, so it usually ends up being useless.
Huh? She says things that are hard to understand like this from time to time. Why does it end up useless?
Because I go to sleep right away. I don't know how many years later I wake up the next time, so I can't use much of what I remember. After it is over, all I do is sleep. But maybe I've been missing out. I only knew the world through those sources. I knew about how people would gather like this, but I never experienced it.
I see, but isn't knowing just enough? Just now you ordered some food like it was perfectly natural.
Of course. I studied so I can act that way. But that's all. Experience is far greater than theory. Even if I know about zillions of things, it's useless if I've never done them. She has all this information or something, but it's different to experience it. If you know everything there is to know about a particular color, but you've never actually seen it, does the actual experience of seeing it add something to it? Or vice versa? Does seeing it mean more than all the information you could potentially put together around it if you never see it? Who knows? It's a fun thought experiment. I get the feeling she's just very sheltered.
Arcueid sighs. Is that so? I think some people say theory makes up for a lack of experience.
That's something those who only know theories say. I used to think that way, until just recently.
Arcueid's expression starts to cloud. For some unknown reason, I don't like seeing her face like that. Is that so? I think there's just those for whom theory can make up for a lack of experience, and those for whom experience trumps theory. There's a lot of people out there in the world, so not everyone is the same.
Wow, you got really deep and serious, Shiki.
Hey now, Arcueid-san. You're the one who started being all serious. I was just going along. Don't kill the conversation like that. Since you're telling me all that stuff about yourself.
Yeah, I know. You always listen to me when I want to talk. You always yell at me, but you listen to me when it's serious.
Arcueid laughs brightly. That's what she thinks anyway. But I think such a genuine smile suits her best.
I was thinking about what you said earlier. I really am narrow-minded. I can't really see anything else after I make up my mind, not needing anyone but myself. I'm the one who is right. I can only think in those terms. That's right. There are a lot of hearts out there, so there's a lot of people that can do easily what I can't.
She somehow seems very gentle as she contemplates.
But even if I contemplate it, my personality won't change. I like this me the best, and I believe it is the correct way.
She smiles as she says those courageous words. Then she looks around like before and takes a bite of her hamburger. Oh. Oh. As if to erase any image of her being a vampire, Arcueid chows down on her junk food. How come? It seems impossible to look elegant while eating a hamburger, but Arcueid makes it look beautiful.
What? Staring at me like that? Is this not how you eat it?
Arcueid hurriedly puts her hamburger back on her tray. Then she wipes her mouth with a paper napkin. But even that simple action seems so elegant. No, it's right. It's right, but it's strange. In your case, it doesn't suit you, so don't do it.
You bought her a hamburger but don't expect her to eat it? Shiki, what gives?
I don't even know why I say that as I chomp on my hamburger like a hamburger should be eaten.
What do you mean it doesn't suit me?
It's an image problem. That small mouth of yours isn't fit to eat fast food. Fries aren't a problem, so you can have my share. I put my french fries on her tray. I really don't know what I'm doing at all.
Then stop. I don't want them. I don't feel like eating just those.
After saying that, she brings the hamburger to her mouth once more. She might be worried about my stare as she eats it more normally. Well, I could live with that. But a hamburger-eating vampire? All living things need nutrition to live, so they eat. Before, Arcueid declared she doesn't drink blood. So in order to gain that nutrition, does she eat food just like us normal humans? Hey, Arcueid.
What, you meanie?
No, I wasn't going to criticize you. I just had a question, if that's okay.
Sure, what is it?
You're a vampire, right? Then I was wondering maybe if food for you was only blood. Her eyes widen. I knew it. It was a rude question. See, even Arcueid's facial expression is getting angry. Or not.
Hey, Shiki. Normally, I don't eat food. Certainly, eating like this allows me to move on my own, but it's more of a mental thing. For me, to eat, in other words, taking in nutrition, is a different process than the one you have. I do have an appetite, but maybe it's more akin to lust. If I don't eat, I get irritated, but since I don't put much priority on it, inversion impulses rarely happen. Say what? I love how you put in inversion impulses, but the first hit is type moon. Okay, so there is no actual scientific or pseudoscientific whatever for this. This is something specific to Nasuverse, and it is the state of being where one's mind is overpowered by other factors of their body. Okay, good to know. So she's basically saying if I don't eat, I get irritated, but I don't put priority on it, so getting hangry doesn't happen so often. Cool, whatevs.
She easily denies the blood is food theory. Yeah, that's what it is. She really seems to be okay with not drinking blood. I see. That's good. Arcueid isn't someone that kills humans to feed. It really is a good thing. Jeez. If Arcueid just said from the beginning,
I'm a vampire that doesn't suck human blood.
then I would have agreed to help her from the start. Hey, wait a minute. You don't call that a vampire?
Shiki, there's a bigger problem. I think she did actually say that she'd never fed on a human. I guess she technically said she'd never killed a human before. But seriously, this is your problem for not having asked. Because I'm pretty sure this topic did come up. And that was when you said that she was very weird for it. You do. Even you can't resist eating for one day, right? For those vampires who are true ancestors, like me, the highest class of food, the things that can satisfy our desires the most, is blood. So in order to live and fulfill our desires, we can substitute blood with other things. But when it comes to the dead apostles, vampires that were originally human, it is a different matter. In order to maintain their existence, they need the blood of others.
Huh? In other words, the best way to satisfy your hunger is blood? But you said you hated drinking blood. So just like people who don't like certain food, you hate the taste of blood? I take a guess at a satisfactory simplification for the long explanation she gave. However, it seems like I was a little off.
I don't know. I don't know what blood tastes like.
Huh?
I told you, I'm not a full vampire. Not knowing the taste of blood. I still don't know that. All I know is to drink human blood is to refuse to recognize them as people.
She looks away, not even trying to look at me.
Hey, Shiki, what if birds or fish had the same amount of intelligence and lifespan as you did? Could you eat them? Could you justify it to yourself by saying, no matter how much intelligence they have, they are still food, and then eat them?
No, that's... Could I eat them? I don't know. But first off, I'd try and eat other food, things that didn't have intelligence.
See? Just like that. That's why I hate the thought of drinking blood. Well, maybe there are likes and dislikes, as you said, too. If I could, I like to avoid the sight of blood. But, yes. But if humans didn't have the same worth, intelligence, or values than I did, then maybe I would drink blood. Isn't providence of nature taking the lives of other things to protect your own? Right?
Arcueid asks me for agreement. But that, even if Arcueid says it, I can only deny it. I don't want to agree to that.
It's actually an interesting philosophical conversation that I kind of don't want to get into here because every time I read a little bit of this, it just goes on forever. But there's a lot to get into here, and the thing is, they're only addressing a couple facets of the conversation, but they're probably not going to get into it. This is her philosophy. Because remember, she also discussed a lot about might makes right earlier, where it's literally the victors decide the rules. I said I wasn't going to get into this. Like, there's a lot more I could put together and try to make a cohesive argument to try to at least bring up some of the different things that people do discuss in these arguments, but maybe another time. A visual novel with my beautiful vampire princess waifu. I just want our date to go really nicely. That is my main prerogative right now.
Certainly, that may be true, but in the first place, humans are like you. So, let's just cut short this kind of conversation.
I told you they weren't actually going to get into it. Asi brings up philosophies and ideas to kind of flesh out what characters are supposed to be and kind of give them a little bit of flavor, which is a pretty good choice when you want to differentiate characters from each other.
I don't really like talking about what-ifs.
Really? I like what-ifs. Not knowing how things will turn out, yet still having hope, at least for that moment.
If. What if? Then what if she drank blood like other vampires? Would we be talking like this?
What's wrong, Shiki? Your face got dark all of a sudden. Do you have to go to the bathroom?
Hey, you come up with that when someone is thinking seriously? I sigh. Even though I'm seriously thinking about it, Arcueid doesn't seem to think much about drinking blood. Yeah, it doesn't concern me.
Jeez, just mumbling to yourself like that? Trying to hide something isn't manly, Shiki.
Arcueid looks like an angry cat again. I'm not really hiding anything. Besides, you're the one with all the secrets. You're just having fun saying things I can't understand.
Having fun? I'm not trying to do that.
I don't know where her bad mood went, but she suddenly calms down. She looks like she's uneasy with me nailing it on the head. Really? You really were having fun seeing me stumped like earlier. Do you like teasing, or is it secrecy? Well, we are two different kinds of life forms, so I don't care.
That's not it. I was just trying to answer you. It probably looks like I'm hiding a lot of things because you never ask.
So whatever I ask, you'll tell me.
Yes. We are a team, after all.
Alright. Then, as she wishes, I shall ask questions to clear things up. Alright, I'll tell her about last night. Should be something Shiki should do. Then let's hear the details about Arcueid's enemy. Well, I have to ask her about her hobbies, history, and her 3 sizes.
Shiki should definitely tell her about what happened last night. At the same time, there might be some more details about the enemy. The thing is, both of these feel like talking shop, and this would be like going back to the date. Kinda want to pick telling her about last night, though. Just while we're on the topic of nothing but, like, vampire stuff and talking shop, I don't know. This also just seems odd, like the wording. He's really gonna ask her about her hobby, history, and 3 sizes. Apparently her hobby is sleeping. Her history is she hunts vampires. And would she really tell us? She might. She may not know what they are. I like this. But the guide says... Okay, the guide says it's this one. Alright.
I probably won't ever get a chance to talk with Arcueid in a fast food restaurant in the middle of the day like this again, so I'll ask not about vampires, but something more ordinary. Then I'll ask you, Arcueid, could you tell me a little about your interests, your past, and your 3 sizes?
Oh, he really did just ask point blank. And I guess it does make sense that it's like, hey, we're in a heavy conversation. Do we really want to talk shop in 2 capacities or pick the odd man out? You want to know about that? You sure ask strange things, Shiki.
It's not strange. I don't know anything about you, so it's natural to want to know about you.
Ah, I feel the same way. Perhaps, in that case, I don't mind. But interests and a past, I don't have any of those. I've also never measured myself, so I can't tell you my 3 sizes. I never recorded my age or my height like you guys do.
What do you mean? You've never even wondered about yourself?
No, it's not like that, but it wasn't anything I ever had as a priority. All I need is the ability to hunt dead apostles, vampires.
But still, there were things that happened before you came to the city, right? I want to hear about those kinds of things.
Before I came here, that'd probably be about 8 years ago then. At that time, I wasn't in this country, but in some other country hunting a vampire. A vampire made its lair in a small French countryside village that became a ghost town. After 2 days, I found the enemy and dealt with the female dead apostle controlling the town.
As if remembering something horrible, Arcueid closes her eyes and cuts off. 8 years ago? Then, up until now, what were you doing, Arcueid?
What was I doing? I just went back to my castle and slept. My duty is to hunt dead apostles. I have no other meaning for my existence. So until another dead apostle stands out, there's nothing to do but continue sleeping, right?
What? Continue sleeping? Does she mean literally? No, in the first place, wait a minute. A castle? You mean that castle? I'd have trouble believing it, but don't tell me your place is like that Cinderella's castle.
Cinderella's castle?
Arcueid tilts her head like she doesn't get it.
I'm gonna say, considering Nasi's penchant for the Einsborn castle, it's probably a structure more like one of those. Yeah.
No. That's not a really appropriate expression. I mean, you're a, princess?
Yes, it seems that way. A long time ago, I was told not to cut my hair and scolded to act more like royalty.
I'm speechless. Come to think of it, that Nero guy always called her princess. But still, a royal princess? I steal a glance at Arcueid. She's beautiful enough to take your breath away, but such a rambunctious person, a princess? She's not quite what comes to mind when I think of a princess.
Are you sure about that? I mean, I could be wrong, but I think there's been quite a few princess characters, certainly in video games, where there's a princess character, and she basically fights with the team, and may not have a typically, maidenly personality. But some of those examples may have been post-2000, so what do I know?
Well, at least you are as selfish as a princess. I give a deep sigh.
Hey now, I only said it because you asked, so don't respond like that.
Her Royal Highness glares at me. Arcueid doesn't seem to think of herself as a princess either, so I think it's just best to forget about this. Still angry, Arcueid resumes eating her hamburger. After she's finished and calmed down, we decide to go somewhere else. After eating, we do some window shopping on the main street, and end up heading towards my school for some reason. The sun starts to set. Actually, it's because Arcueid suddenly exclaims,
Let's go to the school you're attending.
and I couldn't tell her no. I've told you before, but we can't go inside. I've skipped school today after all, and you're an outsider.
I know. I won't cause you any trouble, so just relax.
Arcueid peers at the school from the gate.
Huh?
Arcueid tilts her head. What's wrong? Did something happen? I look at the school grounds from behind her. Huh? This time I'm the one tilting my head. There's no sign of anyone on the school grounds. It's not even quite 6 o'clock yet. At this time, there should be a lot of athletic clubs still practicing.
And despite the fact that the music implies that everything's still hunky-dory, I feel like it should cut out soon. Because maybe something altercation-wise will happen at the school soon. I've been expecting this since she visited us at the school earlier. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens next time. If I'm correct. I might be wrong. But I can't imagine their date just goes without a hitch, you know? Anyway, I hope this has been entertaining, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a good one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!